There's no way this game makes me feel like Spider-Man. Guess we'll find out. Oof. How's it going, guys? I just finished playing Spider-Man 2, and it was fine. It was a good game. It totally didn't change my life at all. I think we can all agree that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 made us feel the 19-inch exaggerated swagger of being Spider-Man. And I haven't felt this much fun beating the shit out of enemies since, I don't know, probably Shattered Dimensions, which came out more than a decade ago. I feel old yet, but I don't want to just talk about gameplay. I'm not a channel that focuses on gameplay. I wouldn't even know where to start if I wanted to really delve into the intricacies of that. What I do want to talk about is how the game feels, what its story is like, and how this game is peak Spider-Man. As in, this is one of the best interpretations of Spider-Man I've seen in modern times, and you'll get what I mean soon. Now, from the get-go, I think Insomniac is a great company, and I mean, all their games are pretty much bangers, and if they're not bangers, like for example, Ratchet & Clank All for One, it's still a lot of fun to play. And their handling of a new interpretation of Peter Parker and Miles Morales has been nothing short of amazing. Pun intended. I'm very funny. And while obviously not perfect, the story of the first Spider-Man game is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories at the end of the day. The way it's able to weave multiple Spider-Man villains, focusing on two of them and having their own character arcs, and then finishing it off with a ridiculously emotional ending, yeah, I loved it. Heck, even Mary Jane Watson, who in the games, her life is virtually nothing like it is in the comics, she at least has characterization that makes her recognizable and engaging. Unlike the MCU movies, for example, where I just know the bare minimum about her. And at least she's not going through some ridiculously contrived plot where she's with some dude and she can't be with Peter again, and she has superpowers now for some reason. Kill me, please. Yeah, Spider-Man for the PS4, a fantastic game, and could easily be built upon, and so Spider-Man Miles Morales did build upon it, creating a more satisfying version of the game to play. And also its story, other than Tinker being like a little undercooked, so good. And then Spider-Man 2 comes along and goes, fuck you, and improves everything, except for the story maybe. All the gameplay is just 40 times better, Spider-Man swings 40 times faster, and also there's fall damage? That's awesome. Like, you can swing in like a loop-de-loop. There's so much shit you can do. The gameplay is amazing. It's so much fun. And also, it's as hard as Venom, and by that I mean rock hard difficulty. Holy shit. The game is so much harder than the first one if you play it on a harder difficulty. It's crazy. And at this point in time, we now have two Spider-Men. We can assume Peter's been Spider-Man for almost a decade now, and he finally has a partner he can rely on. And the very beginning of the game is what I want for the Spider-Man brand for like ever. Yes, I think Peter should be the first Spider-Man, obviously. Yes, I think he should be older than Miles. I don't think they should be the same age. Fuck you, Spider-Man 2017. And once Miles is introduced, this should be the status quo for a while. I don't really want a shit ton of Spider people. And if anything, you know, other Spider people can cameo in their lives, but the main Spider-Men should just be Peter and Miles kicking ass and saving New York City. And it's truly a perfect opening to the game. The Sandman fight is just perfection. So much fun. It's too good. You know, it reminded me of the Sandman boss fight in Web of Shadows. I'm stupid. Shattered Dimensions, where you're basically in like a massive sandstorm. That was fun, and it's like that fight, but like 20 times better. It's so much fun. And on that note, the game's story is just incredible. It's so good. The only issue is that it resolves itself too quickly. But up to a certain point in the story, it is genuine gold. While being a huge fan of Peter's arc in this game and tolerating Harry's arc in this game, I love, and I mean love, what they did with Miles in this game. So let's go through it. We've set up that the prior two Spider-Man games are awesome. So what about Spider-Man 2? I also forgot, did I say welcome back to Uncommentary? I feel like I've been forgetting to say that, like, for the past 3 videos. Let me say it again. How's it going? Welcome back to Uncommentary, where I talk about whatever I want to talk about, and you can't stop me. Today we're talking about... Well, from the get-go, I think that while taking a lot of creative liberties with the character to make it recognizable but also distinct, Insomniac truly gets Peter Parker. Maybe not every aspect, but the fundamental aspects of the character, they get it. Peter's a guy who just wants to do the right thing, and sometimes he may even do the wrong thing trying to get to that right thing. The world is on his shoulders, and despite having someone with him to carry this massive burden of responsibility now, in his head, it's still all on him. He cannot balance his work, his love life, and being Spider-Man at all. And in the game, the symbiote exacerbates this need to be the best Spider-Man, because there's all this mounting pressure triggered by the trauma of losing his Aunt May. And playing through the game, you see him go through this journey of understanding that he does need help, and that by refusing to voice his deepest struggles and insecurities, by not letting himself open up to others, he's actually harming those he cares about. I think that's where Miles comes in. But before we talk about Miles, let's talk about today's sponsor. Tired of having a desk that isn't set to your height specifications? Want to be able to tweak its height? Well, you gotta check out FlexiSpot. They provide amazing standing desks and more furniture. And I'm being dead ass, you should buy one of their tables right now. I have their E8 desk and it's just perfect for me. It's so amazing. I'm able to work on this Browntable, heck yeah, and if I'm ever in the mood to stand, I can. It's just so convenient for me, especially as an artist that has to hunch over a drawing pad all the time. Simple to assemble, once this table's finished, you'll be so happy. It has a loading capacity of 270 friggin' pounds, so the average Joe shouldn't worry about this bad boy collapsing under pressure. The desk keypad is also incredibly easy to use. You can make it move up or down, or better yet, customize height options to what works best for you. They can charge your stuff. Want to charge your phone while you work? Easy, it has a USB outlet. I have an E8 desk, right? But there's also the Pro desk, and remember, the Comhar series has drawers included. Up to you which style of table you want to get. Right now, FlexiSpot is having an Amazon Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale with stuff up to 70% off. From now through the 27th of November, they're having limited time sales for best-selling products every day. And you can get free orders if you buy on November 24th and the 27th. You can also follow and watch FlexiSpot live streams on Amazon to win a giveaway prize. So go to the link in the description below to get your Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals, which are up to 70% off. I've seen people say that Miles doesn't do much in this game, but I think they exaggerate, because the game also has so much of him discovering himself, going through a journey of revenge, healing, and afterwards healing Peter as well, thanks to the power of forgiveness. That's right, that's the theme of the game, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary friends. Yep, the key of the game is forgiveness, or letting go. Similar to Raimi's Spider-Man 3, actually. It's just somehow a little messier than in that movie. It's framed more as a journey of balance for Peter. There's this beautiful moment early on in the game that almost frames a line that Aunt May tells Peter as like this key line that will win the day at the end of the game.
Balance is a process, not a destination.
But it's just kind of thrown in there, and the line doesn't really come up later, I don't think, at all. And I thought it was gonna be super pivotal to the game in some point. Like, I thought, you know, in Spider-Man 2, where Peter reiterates what Otto told him at the beginning of the movie.
You once spoke to me about intelligence.
Intelligence is not a privilege.
That it was a gift to be used for the good of mankind.
I thought balance is a process, not a destination, was going to be something that Peter maybe uttered to Harry or something at the end. I thought it was going to be an important line, and it was going to have this climactic moment where this line is said, and Peter uses what Aunt May taught him when he was younger now at the end of the game. Kind of like The Flash. This is a crazy tangent. In the early seasons of The Flash from, the CW, there would be flashbacks to Barry Allen's young life, where he would learn like a lesson from his dad or something, and he would apply this lesson to a present day situation and be able to resolve it. I thought that was what was going to happen here. I thought that would have been great, and it kind of doesn't happen. It's like if Aunt May said revenge is like a poison in Spider-Man 3, but there is no I forgive you line in the movie at the end with Sandman. Sandman would just sort of escape, and we assume Peter forgave him. In the game, it's more like Aunt May just states the theme of the game rather than that line being kind of more so important to the story. But yeah, ultimately though, Peter does go through the process of learning to live a balanced life. He's going to put being Spider-Man on hold at the end, knowing that Miles will take care of the city, and he'll fulfill his journey of responsibility by further developing the Emily May Foundation, which in my opinion is a great ending off point for the character in the game, and we can explore what happens later in the next one. Now there's another thing I want to mention, okay? This could also be the status quo of Spider-Man in the comics. If you're not gonna have Peter and Miles kicking ass together, with Peter in a relationship with Mary Jane, by the way, then have Miles be the main Spider-Man and have Peter retire with Mary Jane, and I don't know, maybe have a daughter? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, I don't know. Maybe I'm in the head. I just want Marvel to let Peter grow. They keep trying to write Peter as some sort of perpetual 17-year-old, despite that he's in like his mid-20s, I think. Peter, why are your legs shaking when you're asking Black Cat out? You fucked Black Cat before. You have hair on your balls, Peter. Grow up. If you want a kid Spider-Man, Miles is right there. Let Peter pass the torch of being the young Spider-Man, and now we can have a teenage Spider-Man, Miles, and an adult Spider-Man, where we can tell new stories. But whoever is in charge of Peter Parker Spider-Man right now in the comics, they are doing a terrible job. Go read Miles' comics, by the way. They're like way more interesting. He has a fucking sword. Anyways, long ass tangent, let's go back to the game. Peter's journey is solid, and Miles' journey, while shorter, is just so much better and has a more satisfying conclusion to me, as Miles decides to let go of his anger and let Martin Lee go. And that is peak. The scene where Miles stops fighting Mr. Negative and just grabs him and goes,
When you're out, find Spider-Man.
dude, that shit is fucking amazing. I love that scene. Miles, I love you. You rule, man. And when the two of them eventually go into Peter's mind and remove this burden the symbiote's latched onto, which alleviates the pain of losing his Aunt May, and then Peter can finally set things right. I don't know. I think that's brilliant. I think it's awesome. I think Peter becoming Anti-Venom is really, really interesting, and I like that interpretation. I like this take. It's unique. And it makes sense, and at least they have Mr. Negative creating the anti-venom thing, so yeah, it's awesome. And Miles' discovery that enemies that the Spider-Man face can be rehabilitated is very, very important. People see it as Miles not being as important as Peter in the game. And yeah, the story is Peter-focused, so that'll naturally happen. But that doesn't mean Miles did nothing and he was completely sidelined. I think if someone plays the game, they really should play all the Mysterio missions before having Miles get captured by Kraven, as his conversation with Quentin Beck provides juicy, additional dialogue that contributes to the theme of forgiveness and letting go in the game.
Mysterio will always be a villain, just as Spider-Man will always be a hero. It's when you start looking at the people behind the masks that things get messy.
Real quick, let's talk about the statue, the 19-inch one. Just look at this beast. Isn't it magnificent? Oh my god, just so cool. It's genuinely so much cooler than the statue from the first game. Hey, let's get this measured. How big is it? Will you look at that? 19 inches. Venom's only 12 inches. Another great bit is that Mary Jane also gets in on the action with improved gameplay intersections, as well as having an entire boss fight dedicated to her. When Peter's just completely taken over by the symbiote and Mary Jane has to run away, that's like a massive highlight of the game. It's so good. And my jaw dropped when I saw she was Scream, man. That shit was nuts. The conversation they have that's instigated by the unsuppressed, more reactionary thoughts of the symbiote is very cool. I guess being taken over by the symbiote allowed them to have a healthier relationship in the end. Can someone give me a symbiote, please? I wanna be healthy. And the symbiote leading its wearer to have more raw, extreme, unfiltered thoughts is what leads Harry Osborn into becoming Venom. The only issue is that Harry becoming evil kinda sucks. I honestly just think it felt kinda random when he became evil. And I was kinda confused at his motivations. I know he wants Peter to join him to create this perfect world, but also the whole game kinda builds to him hating Peter and Spider-Man, because Peter was just keeping the symbiote for himself. And then there's this scene where Harry sees Norman and Peter having a moment, and he flips out. He breaks a window and everything. And then right before becoming Venom, he starts just straight up attacking Peter and going like, oh, you're just gonna let me die? You're just gonna let me die like that? It's definitely kind of weird characterization. Especially the part where he's also like a faux Spider-Man with the like Eddie Brock symbiote suit.
Wrong, sir. Wrong.
Think you're pretty funny, don't you, freak?
I'm sorry, guys. I meant Flash Thompson. I meant Flash. I'm so sorry. It was just kind of odd to me a little bit. They should have either focused on him loving Peter and hating Miles, or having him just hate Peter altogether. And his plot of creating a new world starts with him killing Peter, or something. It just felt like they were trying to do two things at the same time. But you know what? Even so, 19 inches of Venom fucking hit. Once Venom came, I was feeling so full. and I was shocked at how much sticky residue he was shooting out. Like, Jesus Christ, talk about exploding. The whole city, Harry? Venom's design and everything is peak, and even his goal is solid to me. I just needed more of him. That being said, I didn't want this game to just become a Web of Shadows reboot, so I'm not really complaining. They adapted a lot from the comics in their own way too, which was very cool. And while people complain that they removed a lot by not including Eddie Brock, my take is that, yeah, no shit, you know, it sucks, but they were trying to do something new with Harry Osborn, so they traded a story for a story. The only issue is that the Harry Osborn story is kinda mid. But that doesn't mean it's not interesting. Harry Osborn here wants so badly to create a better world with his friend and wanted to dedicate it to his mother and his best friend's aunt, who low-key is basically his mom. And even when Venom, he still has this need to pursue this goal with Peter. And I think there's something really bittersweet about that. Sadly though, it was just a bit undercooked. Though I will say that once you complete all the Emily May Foundation missions, the message Harry leaves you is fucking great.
I love you, Pete. I really do. And I know the Foundation didn't end up going the way I'd hoped, but there's still no one I'd rather have tried it with.
Maybe this game did cook a bit with him. What wasn't mid though is Kraven. Oh my god, this game cooked with Kraven. It's crazy, I think I spit. From beginning to end, with his death just being freaking perfect. In my opinion, everything before Peter gets the anti-Venom suit is so amazing, it's phenomenal, but what's perfect is the point in time between Peter dying by Kraven and Venom killing Kraven. Those 2 points in the story, everything in between those 2 moments, 11 out of 10. Dude, Kraven in this game is fucking awesome. I need him to hunt me and kill me. The downside is that he straight up kills like 3 Spider-Man villains. But hey, it does make him feel like more of a threat. Like for example, because of that, I could see him killing Mr. Negative if Miles decided not to kill him, which was nice. Rest in peace, my boy Shocker, though. You will be missed, Herman. But yeah, playing as Venom, I did not expect that. I haven't played as Venom in so long. I was so pumped, and they let you do all these like unique Venom moves. That was freaking awesome. And then right after, he bites Kraven's head off? Okay. Okay, game. Okay, we see you. My goat. This is not Harry, but fuck you, I don't care. Venom my goat. I could not ask for more peak fiction, and Kraven won in the end. That goes so hard. You know what also goes hard? Interstellar Ranger Commence. It's Browntable's original animated series that's airing on the channel. Episode 4 is getting close to completion, but it's still being worked on. I'm trying to get it out before the year ends, but hey, episodes 1 to 3 are now on the channel, so check it out. And it'd be awesome if you supported independent animation, because all these studios are canceling like all these animated projects, so we gotta get stuff out and made somehow, so your support means a lot. And this is the part where I get a bit sentimental, because being Spider-Man isn't just beating up massive enemies and constantly fumbling relationships. Being Spider-Man means looking out for the people and making connections with them. Do I think Miles' Brooklyn High missions are dog shit? Yes, but I at least appreciate their attempt in making it feel like Spider-Man has a community and cares about the people. What isn't dog shit though is every single other Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man app mission in the game, especially those that comment on, and I know this is gonna sound lame as hell, the beauty of life. A nice little cherry on top to the overall arc of the game, which is about growing, learning, and letting go. You want these characters to be the best versions of themselves at the end of the day, because nothing lasts forever. Miles will never stay as just the second Spider-Man, and Peter is never not gonna retire at one point. The missions Find Grandpa and Howard deadass made me fucking cry. Okay, maybe I didn't cry, but I teared up a lot. That shit hit. And it reminded me of why I love Spider-Man so much and why I love art, media so much. Spider-Man's a hero that cares, one that'll hold your hand if the going gets rough, one that'll sit with you on a park bench until your granddaughter comes to get you. That's what being Spider-Man's all about. And I'm just so happy that a game like this exists that can make me feel these emotions. When I was swinging and gliding with Howard's pigeons, I felt as free as those birds, man. That's when I knew Insomniac nailed it. It's a beautiful, messy game, but I do not regret playing it, and I do not regret buying that statue of 19 inches of sex. But before I leave you, let me complain about one more thing. Why do these games end so fucking mid? They end so anticlimactically. Why? Spider-Man 1 ends with a coffee shop scene, Peter and MJ kiss. Oh, it's really sweet, the music's really soft, and then it just fades to black, and then credits. What? At least make the music really swell and go really loud so we can hear that shit. Maybe cut to an exterior shot and like the camera pans up to the sky, and then roll credits or something? And then Miles Morales fix this. And the game ends with the two Spider-Man being like, yo, what's up, what's good, bro? And then they just swing out into the city. They fucking pose like fucking badasses right at the screen. The music is swelling, it's awesome, it's perfect. You nailed it. And then in Spider-Man 2, you revert back to Miles just swinging away off screen, and then Peter and MJ just kiss, and then it fades to black again. Dude, what? At least have music pop off. Or maybe we can see Miles swinging away? This is a message to Insomniac Games. Watch Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, heck, even No Way Home with its unimpressive final swing. End your games in a more hype way. Even if you want to end it in a really anticlimactic way with a soft, cute scene with Peter and MJ kissing, whatever, at least have the music swell. So it feels like, wow, we just finished the game, that was great, and not, oh, the game ended. Because that's how it feels, and that shit is boring. Anyways, thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure to check out Interstellar Ranger Commence. Thanks so much, Benzarita, for this killer fan art. I just adore your art style so much, man. So yeah, Maria looks awesome here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, patrons, for keeping me alive and supporting the channel, supporting what I create. And you can become a chair and join the Brown Table by remembering to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Please do. I'd really appreciate it. That's all. Thanks so much for coming to the table, and I'll see you all next time.